When you picture black wealth, who comes to mind? Oprah, Jay-Z, maybe LeBron James. But long before they made their first million, a quieter circle of black elites had already built empires. In an era of violent oppression, they created generational fortunes in real estate, finance, and industry, laying down the earliest roadmaps for black legacy in America. These aren't just rags-to-riches stories, they're dynasties forged under immense pressure. This is the untold history of America's original black upper class. Our story starts not in the Gilded Age, but at the nation's birth, with a man named James Forten. Born free in Philadelphia in 1766, he became an industrial magnate and the patriarch of one of America's first and most influential black families. Forten's story is about more than just money. It's a blend of patriotism, ingenuity, and a fierce devotion to abolition. Raised during the American Revolution, he enlisted at just 14. When he was captured and held on a brutal British prison ship, the teenager was offered a comfortable life in England. He refused, choosing to remain a prisoner of war out of loyalty to the new United States. After his release, he returned to Philadelphia and became an apprentice in a sail-making shop. It was there his inventive mind took flight. He developed a new type of sail that offered superior speed and control, a true leap in maritime tech. That innovation unlocked his fortune. In 1798, Forten bought the firm and quickly turned it into one of Philadelphia's most successful businesses. In a country where segregation was the norm, his shop was different. A deliberately integrated workforce of black and white artisans working side by side. By the early 1800s, Forten was one of Philadelphia's wealthiest men, with a fortune worth millions today. But his greatest legacy was how he used that wealth for freedom. He funded abolitionist newspapers, supported anti-slavery organizations, and his home on Lombard Street was a crucial stop on the Underground Railroad. He and his wife, Charlotte, raised their children not to be idle socialites, but to fight for equality. His granddaughter, Charlotte Forten Grimke, became a famous poet and educator. The Fortens prove that early black wealth and black liberation were two sides of the same coin. From the abolitionist North, our story moves to the dangerous post-Reconstruction South. In Memphis, Tennessee, we meet Robert Reed Church, born into slavery and later celebrated as the South's first black millionaire. Freed during the Civil War, he started small with a saloon and restaurant, but his success made him a target. During the 1866 Memphis riot, a white mob shot him, robbed him, and left him for dead. He survived, and in an incredible act of defiance, he vowed to stay and build his fortune in the very city that tried to kill him. His big break came from tragedy, the yellow fever epidemics of the 1870s. As disease ravaged Memphis, people fled and property values crashed. Where others saw death, Church saw a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He stayed, buying up commercial buildings and vacant lots for pennies. When the plague ended and people returned, Memphis was reborn, and Robert Church owned a huge piece of it. Like Forten, he used his wealth to lift his community. Barred from public parks, he built one himself, Church's Park and Auditorium, a cultural hub that hosted everyone from President Theodore Roosevelt to early blues legends. He also founded the city's first black-owned bank, giving credit to entrepreneurs shut out by white institutions. Now, let's pivot to the fiercest financial arena on Earth, Wall Street. In the mid-19th century, it was a whites-only club until Jeremiah G. Hamilton stormed the gates. Nicknamed the Prince of Darkness by his rivals, he was Wall Street's first black millionaire. His beginnings are a bit of a mystery, but he excelled in New York's wild world of speculation. He mastered high-risk strategies, buying shares in companies hit by disasters like the Great Fire of 1835, then suing insurers to pay out in full. He grew so powerful he even clashed with the legendary Cornelius Vanderbilt. When he died in 1875, he left a fortune worth over $50 million today, making him the richest black man in America. Across the river in Brooklyn, another empire rose, built by Elizabeth Gloucester. At her death in 1883, she was known as the wealthiest black woman in the nation. She was a master of real estate, running over a dozen boarding houses at her peak, including an upscale one for white clients. Her fortune, worth multi-millions today, was a powerful weapon for abolition. Her home was a command post for the movement and a station on the Underground Railroad, and she even supported John Brown's raid on Harper's Ferry. Finally, we meet two women who revolutionized black enterprise in the 20th century: Annie Turnbow Malone and her one-time student-turned-rival, Madame C.J. Walker. Malone was a brilliant chemist who created a line of innovative hair care products. Because stores wouldn't carry them, she pioneered direct door-to-door sales. By the end of World War I, she was a multimillionaire. She built Poro College in St. Louis, a massive complex that trained an estimated 75,000 sales agents, giving thousands of black women financial independence. One of those agents was Sarah Breedlove, who would become Madame C.J. Walker. Walker took Malone's direct sales model and scaled it beyond anyone's imagination. She traveled relentlessly, training an army of Walker agents who were entrepreneurs in their own right. She sold more than just hair products. She sold a blueprint for economic freedom. By 1919, she was celebrated as America's first self-made female millionaire. These are the stories of America's first black dynasties, pioneers who built empires against all odds and used their wealth not just for themselves, but to pave the way for generations to come. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more hidden histories. Our path now heads west, before the gold rush, before statehood, when Yerba Buena was a dusty Mexican village destined to become San Francisco. At the center of its early growth stood William Alexander Leidesdorff, also rendered Lidorf, Liedersaf, an Afro-Caribbean trailblazer often named among America's first black millionaires. Born 1810 in the Danish West Indies and of mixed heritage, he moved to New Orleans, became a UC citizen, and made his name as a sea captain and merchant. In 1841, he sailed to California and arrived in sleepy Yerba Buena, and saw potential everywhere. He didn't merely relocate, he started building the town itself, the first hotel, the first commercial waterfront warehouse, and the first steamboat to ply San Francisco Bay. To anchor his interests, he adopted Mexican citizenship, securing a 35,000-acre land grant. After the U.S. takeover, he served as an American diplomat and sat on the town's inaugural city council, a founding father of San Francisco in all but name. Then tragedy. In May 1848, he died suddenly at 38. Just months earlier, gold had been discovered at Sutter's Mill, next to his vast holdings. Settled in 1856, his estate was valued around $1.445 million and well over $40 million today, cementing his place among the earliest black millionaires. Because he died in Tay-State, legal wrangling devoured much of the value. Latest Street in today's financial district stands as a modest tribute to California's black founding figure. Perhaps no saga is more inspiring and devastating than Tulsa, Oklahoma's Greenwood District, the famed Black Wall Street. One of its key architects, O.W. Ottawa W. Gurley, born to formerly enslaved parents in 1868, was self-educated and visionary. In 1905, he moved to oil boom Tulsa, bought 40 acres on the north side of the segregated tracts, and set out to build a town by black people for black people. He launched with a grocery, then sold parcels exclusively to black families. Greenwood was born. Gurley wasn't just flipping real estate, he was financing a community. He extended loans to entrepreneurs, seeding businesses that would form Black Wall Street's backbone. His own portfolio grew to a hotel, rentals, and an employment agency. By 1921, he reportedly held 100-plus properties, a net worth equivalent to $714 million today. Greenwood became an economic marvel. 35 square blocks of black-owned banks, hotels, theaters, and luxury shops. A closed-loop economy where dollars circulated internally and wealth multiplied. Then, jealousy and hatred ignited. In May 1921, the Tulsa Race Massacre erupted. With official complicity, white mobs looted and firebombed Greenwood for 2 days. When the smoke cleared, Black Wall Street lay in ashes. Hundreds were killed, thousands made homeless. Gurley lost everything: his hotel, properties, entire fortune, and was arrested before fleeing to Los Angeles to avoid lynching. He died in 1935, his wealth obliterated. Greenwood's rise and destruction reveal both the heights of black enterprise and the brutal violence that could erase it overnight. Not all power was minted on trading floors or in oil towns. Some of it was forged in politics. Blanche Kelso Bruce rose from slavery to the U.S. Senate, assembling influence and wealth along the way. Born enslaved in 1841 in Virginia, he managed to gain an education and, after escaping during the Civil War, moved to Mississippi amid Reconstruction's fleeting openings. Talented and charismatic, he became a prosperous landowner, but his ambition aimed higher. In 1874, the state legislature elected him to the Senate, making Blanche K. Bruce the first African American to serve a full 6-year term. He championed the rights of freedmen, Native Americans, and Chinese immigrants, and even presided over the Senate once, another first. His status in Washington made him one of the era's most powerful black leaders. With his wife Josephine, he moved at the center of the capital's black high society. After his term, President James A. Garfield appointed him Register of the Treasury. Another milestone followed. Bruce A.'s signature appeared on the nation's paper currency, the first African American whose name printed on U.S. money. The role carried prestige and pay, solidifying his family's standing. Wise investments in land and stocks built a substantial estate by his death in 1898. His son, Roscoe Conkling Bruce, a Harvard graduate and prominent educator, continued the family's prominence. Proof that briefly power in Washington could craft a durable legacy. Sometimes wealth radiated from a constellation of interlinked households rather than a single surname. That was true in St. Louis, Missouri, which long before Annie Turnbow Malone's Poro Empire hosted a colored aristocracy whose status and assets set them apart. The roots stretched to the early 19th century, often tracing to free people of color who had held land for decades. Fortunes grew through skilled trades like barbering and catering, and, above all, through real estate. As St. Louis expanded, landholders prospered. This group was intentionally exclusive: private social clubs, formal debutante balls, and a relentless focus on education. They sent children to premier private schools and colleges and married within their circle, intertwining wealth and bloodlines. Families such as the Cleorans, Mordeus, and Pelagis consolidated holdings, protecting assets across generations. A key chronicler, Cyprian Kleene, authored The Colored Aristocracy of St. Louis in 1858, tracing fortunes and family histories and unveiling an established world often invisible to white society, complete with city block ownership and elegant homes with servants. Among them, the Pelly family, descended from Pelly, a free woman of color who acquired substantial property early, managed a real estate trove into one of the city's great black fortunes. This elite funded schools, churches, and orphanages, even as colorism shaped who was welcomed. Their story shows how tightly knit communities built and safeguarded generational wealth by constructing a parallel social order that endured more than a century. We've traveled from Philadelphia's docks to DC's salons, from Tulsa's ashes to the glamour that later fed the Harlem Renaissance. These families and networks erected empires. But where is that old money now? The hard truth: many of those fortunes vanished. The forces that made their success miraculous, racist violence, discriminatory statutes, predatory litigation, also made preservation extraordinarily hard. Unlike white dynasties such as the Rockefellers or Vanderbilts, black old money families lacked systemic support and faced repeated generational assaults. Annie Turnbow Malone built a vast enterprise, only to see a hostile divorce, relentless IRS scrutiny, and the Great Depression erode her wealth. O.W. Gurley's fortune wasn't merely lost, it was incinerated in an act of terror. William Alexander Liddesdorf's immense estate was largely consumed by administrators, with heirs receiving a fraction of its gold rush value. Even where catastrophe didn't strike, dilution across many heirs and the relentless costs of operating in a segregated, hostile economy drained reserves over time. Yet their inheritance exceeds bank balances. Their enduring legacy is institutional. Movements, banks, colleges, cultural engines. The Fortons' money fueled abolition. The church bank powered Black Memphis for generations. Madame C.J. Walker's wealth helped sustain the NAACP and energize the Harlem Renaissance. While few black dynasties could match the uninterrupted accumulations of their white contemporaries, the spirit that animated these families thrives. Today's titans, figures like Robert F. Seetiert and David Stewart, are building massive fortunes atop foundations laid by these early pioneers. The chronicles of America's original black elite are essential American history. Stories of dazzling intellect and grit that complicate our assumptions about wealth and reveal the persistent current of black capitalism flowing just beneath the surface. They built fortunes, they bankrolled revolutions, and they wove legacies into the fabric of Black America. The old money world of black dynasties is a galaxy of forgotten empires and hidden narratives. Names such as Forton, Church, Hamilton, and Walker belong among America's great entrepreneurial pantheon. These are not merely black stories, they are American stories, proof that the urge to craft something lasting, to build a legacy, has always burned within the black community, even in the nation's bleakest moments. And what we've uncovered here is only a beginning. Countless innovators, financiers, and trailblazers remain missing from the textbooks. If this exploration stirred you, spread these histories, keep seeking more, and invite others to do the same. Because remembering is the first step toward restoring what was built, what was stolen, and what can still be made anew.
आपको आए ऐसे बता देंगे उस हिसाब से क्या है शाम को आके रात को आके शेयर की इसीलिए आपसे बात कर रहे हैं ना।